episode of Critical Critique. Today we're gonna be covering some mid. Ali, do you like mid?
What is mid?
Are you a mid? Are you a based mid enjoyer?
I'm a touching grass enjoyer.
Touching grass enjoyer. That's pretty mid.
Oh
Touching grass
damn!
is pretty mid. That's pretty mid.
No, grasses are
Overrated.
cool. They I mean, if you, the problem is
But you
if you
get
all,
hay fever.
nah, don't cut it
Oh,
every
no.
single time. It's good for nature if you keep it up.
Let it grow.
Let it grow.
Let it grow. Yeah, let the grass grow. So you can.
So it was all your parents' fault to keeping you inside and letting that allergy develop.
Nah, I don't really have hay fever stuff. It does for me. I don't know. It's like it's a different species every year.
No.
Some different species crops up that triggers some kind of hay fever. Like I'll get it at least once a year, but it's always like I'm never able to actually pin because I'm not even living in the same region with the same grass. So how the fuck could I be getting the same hay fever? But it's not often though; it's very rare. But no, so today we're going to be we're covering mid. Yeah, the zoomies love this term called mid.
Well, I don't see
and they want to defend it.
I don't see that often anymore. We might be a little bit late.
Kinda, you know how these terms, they come and go, right? They kind of, it takes like 5 seconds for them to switch to some
but that's
new term.
Every generation has switched up their terminology every 5 seconds, so we can't blame new generations for doing the same.
At the time of the video's creation, our boy, whoever this was, he's defending the mid. Yeah, replay value is he's in the defense of mid anime because apparently mid anime is a I mean, Chainsaw Mid exists, so I guess he's gonna be defending the chain
title on top.
Yeah, we're watching this as a service. Yeah. Live service.
I could keep it up from now on, but
we could keep that up. Just be your running gag. But yeah, I watched this. I think I don't know if I watched the whole video, but I watched like some of this video like months ago, and I put it in the fucking queue, and now I've completely forgotten. I've completely forgotten what's in it. So
we transferred this stuff over to our new server, but
yeah, we transferred it over, so it's now. I got no idea.
Nah,
but
I have to say I do like this guy. He made some videos that I were. It is from hey, I like this stuff kind of videos, but he does point out stuff,
He's not just doing the Mother's Basement. Oh, I'm just gonna recap.
No, by the way, Mother's Basement just released a video about the best isekais top 10, and it's also 40 minutes long.
Uh-oh.
I'm not planning to do that because it's... No, what I was going to say, he did the Oshinoko one on the first episode of Oshinoko, and there's a moment where they use paint as a paint splashes as a way to convey people getting trapped in or getting splashed with, hey, pay attention, you're in it now.
Right.
Becoming part of the scene by spraying paint on them. It's a very cool way they did it, and he says this is a very cool way to do it because look at this. This could mean this and this, but I think this is cool. Kind of more like this. You see, instead of going scene by scene, explaining what happened as you show how it happens.
Yeah, it's like actually talking about the thing and
highlighting some meaning. You think it's cool.
What they're doing in it? Yeah, crazy.
So, I mean, I'm not going to audit the guy with this opinion and that opinion. I watched some videos. When they come out, when I'm neutral on them, on this guy or the video subject, I'll watch them. If I don't feel like it, then I'm not going to watch him.
Right. Well, I'm interested to see what his take on mid anime is. Then, because like I said, I've completely fucking forgotten why I even put this in the queue. But we'll see. But before that, we have to obviously do. Where is it? Gotta get a good grip on it, and there you go. Get a good crack on that.
But was that real Nretsew? Was that not pre-recorded?
That was 100% real, definitely real. But we might talk about some pre-recorded ones later. That's Sammy, you better stick around for anime talk because you're gonna be in for a fun time. But anyway, let's get right into it.
I have a small confession to make. Occasionally, I enjoy some mid-anime.
Okay, that was an intro.
Yeah. It was a bit much, but it's not bad.
You know what that felt like to me? It felt like this thing is literally shit and it's the coolest thing because he's like, I enjoy some mid-anime, and then he takes a bunch of clips that are really well edited and make the animes look not mid, right? Like, he made the animes look not mid in his intro, so it's like, that thing sucks, it's so mid, literally the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Should I reuse the thumbnail from last time?
Maybe. But anyhow, let's continue.
I know that might seem crazy given my penchant to talk about high concept, heavy on themes, artsy direction, shows, and films, and hey, if I can only pick between those, I'm staying in my ivory tower with Katana Gatari. But every season, I watch one or two shows that are unlikely for me to talk about on this channel because they're middle of the road. Perfectly fine to enjoyable watches, but without the sauce that makes me want to gush about it. This season, that's Masamune-kun.
Yeah, that's my bad.
In the past, it's been stuff like Spy Classroom, Sirius, Prince of Stride.
I get it.
I think the editor put the wrong anime on screen.
No, I think that the editor recommended that anime.
Oh, maybe. I didn't quite get the joke there, because it could have been either or.
Yeah, I had to actually think about it, but yeah, I think the editor recommended it.
Yeah, come on, man. But so yeah, all right. He hasn't quite made a point yet, so let's keep going. Let's see what he has to say.
Cautious Hero, Back Arrow, Angle Moise, you get the idea. Despite the fact that there are dozens of classic and highly regarded anime that I still haven't watched yet, I'm tuning into yet another episode of instantly forgotten sports anime number 4 of the season. Obviously, mid-anime isn't bad. This video isn't titled The Case for Bad Anime, but there's something about watching.
So that's kind of an interesting point, right? Because I can kind of agree, but at the same time, when the kids are using mid, I think when they were using mid, right, they were meaning it to mean bad, right? A little bit.
I think the spectrum was kind of something is trash, mid, okay, good, great, or something, you know? So mid was on the lower end of, you don't need to bother with this.
It's the lower end of bad, yeah. It's like,
or the upper end of bad.
I feel like, in general though, something that I think I've mentioned a few times as an opinion that I hold is, if something is both boring and just kind of there, that's worse than actually being bad. Because if something's actually bad, you can talk about how bad it is, right? You can talk about, the production values are not good, the animation's choppy, the story isn't well written, if something's bad, then there's something that you can, chomp into still, right?
Yeah,
But if something's like, not necessarily mid, because I don't think that would apply to something that's mid, but something that's like really middling, right? Really mid, right? Where it's literally just why am I watching this? This is a waste of time. It's boring, right? I'd actually argue that's worse than being bad.
This is a mindset that I get into when we talk about good, bad stuff. I'm maybe it's a defensive thing. I don't know. It's more of, well, every anime, every fiction to become anime has a very long road before becoming an anime. There is something interesting about this anime, how it's made, how it got here, what the story is, what the story tries to tell, what the story ends up telling. There's a lot of stuff that can be interesting, or is always interesting about every anime ever. About the absolute, the disasters of X-Arm. That's interesting to talk about on its own, right?
Yeah.
But even in, I'll have to dig for mid anime. That's hard.
Yeah, because we don't watch mid.
No, we only watch the good ones.
We've never watched a mid show in our life. All the anime we like is good, and all the anime that we don't like is bad.
All right, so something like, maybe even Kokoro Connect, right?
Oh yeah, Kokoro Connect. Yeah, I've watched that one. Yeah.
Kokoro Connect is all about the relationship trauma.
Yeah.
Traumas. But that's interesting, relationship traumas.
It is, yeah, and it was interesting because I remember watching.
I haven't seen much talk about Hinamatsuri. I think Hinamatsuri is hilarious. One last one, all right? Something like Asura crying. It's an old one by this point. Asura crying. Let me check when this file was made. Don't worry about that. 2017.
Right.
So somewhere in 2017 or earlier, Asura crying. Thanks 50. Asura crying is some magic group, some science group, and some religious group, or at least 3 groups in general, are fighting over this one thing, etc., etc. Our main protagonist is in the middle of them. There's some hot girls around him, etc., etc.
As you do, yeah.
But 3 groups fighting for something. Some special. I believe the main character had some special ability that all 3 of them want, or something. But that conflict is interesting. A freeway, all parts, and then temporary alliances, and what each one stands for, and all that stuff. You see, I'm making it interesting already, even though it's an anime that's been long forgotten and not really referenced. Not referenced
at all. It's not in the seasonal anime watcher consciousness,
or even in the classical anime consciousness.
Because as you know, as soon as an anime ends, it ceases to exist.
Which one was that guy? I remember this.
But yeah, no. So I feel like there's a bit of a discussion to be had there about that. Like, I kind of feel like I'm waiting for what actually constitutes mid in this context, right?
Yeah.
Like what like, yes, it's kind of defined as terms.
You did say mention forgettable. Forgettable sports anime number 4.
Yeah, which I guess would probably count in a sense, but I don't know. Still kind of nebulous. But let's see what he's got to say.
Watching mid that's got a raw deal. And I'm here to suggest that not only is watching mid not a waste of your time necessarily, but that having a little bit of mid in the lineup is good, actually. Let's get the no-brainer stuff out of the way. There's nothing wrong with liking whatever you like, and you should feel free to spend your time however you like in a way that doesn't hurt anyone else. Sometimes you're not trying to watch some high-concept, deep thematic parser where we've been asked to turn to page 64 in the Camus reader provided at the start of the lecture to understand Thrice Upon a Time. Though if you do, you'll discover that Hades' portrayal is right. Sisyphus is happy. And of course, you can only know how great something is if you have a spectrum of experience to compare it to. Now, for the real meat and potatoes of my argument, I once called mid-anime narrative junk food because I'm still at heart a teenager who watched a sequelitis video one time. And what I meant by that term is the idea that some stories are like a bag of potato chips. There's not a lot of pomp and circumstance to eating it. It's not a life-changing experience. It's a simple, consistent flavor and texture that encourages you, almost chemically, to continue shoveling them into your mouth because you derive a simple satisfaction from it.
So, something about that I feel like he's kind of missing there is the fact that sometimes those sort of basic potato chip type plots, right, storylines, are less the obviously to be like thought provoking, big high concept fucking, you know, oh, I'm so I can sniff my own farts, hooty hooty tooty. It's more for people to kind of self-insert a little bit, right? Because it's a basic plot.
Maybe it's better to say it forms a basis that you can, you know, it's a series of conventions that help you go into the story faster.
Well, in a sense, but I'm actually more talking about like you watch, like let's say you're watching some action anime, right?
Yeah.
You're watching some like big. It's like a how would I describe this, right? It's like a big gangster
Horizon in the middle of nowhere.
Horizon in the middle of nowhere. No, it's like some like gangster type fucking show or whatever, and it's a basic premise, it's a basic plot, but then you can imagine in your head, oh, I could be like that. I could be a gangster, you know, in this world that's this basic bare bones world that's been constructed around the idea of being a gangster, right? Where the plot is simple enough, so because it's something that will linger in your mind after you've watched it, right? Because you'll be thinking about it. You'll be like, oh man, what if I was the gangster, right? What if I was the cool guy with the hat and the Tommy gun?
If you were the soldier so cool. in Gate.
I am the soul. Yeah, what if I would blow that dragon's head off with a tank, right? You know, fuck, it's so cool. Ellie, do you remember? We have to make sure we tell everyone that Gate is nationalistic propaganda for the Japanese military.
Yeah, Stargate is as well, and it's kind of cringe for that, but it's fine.
I'm harping back to that exclamation point video.
I've forgotten that video.
Every time we talk about Gate, we have to remind everyone.
You have to, because I've forgotten that explanation point who made that video, or even
what is in it. But jokes aside, that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Gate's actually probably a really good example of that because, you know, it is a fairly basic idea, right? It's isekai, the portal's open, the military responds, right? Your main character is essentially just like a grunt type guy, right? I don't even think he was military at the start of the show, was he?
He's at the start of the anime. He's a ranger. You know,
he's a ranger.
He's already Marine Corps. He's already kind of I don't know what's kind of special op adjacent hard super soldier already. He's already specialized trained.
He's already cool action.
Yeah, but he acts. Right? He's all nonchalant and I'm going to sit in a chair playing my gachas, but I'm actually a super cool soldier.
He's the guy at the party. He's the guy at the party.
He's the guy.
No one knows that I'm a ranger, a super cool man. Yeah.
He's the guy who sits in the shady corner of the inn of the Adventurers Guild Inn.
Yeah, but back to my point though, right? Is something like Gate, right? You could very easily, you know, start having fantasies about what if I was in the
I'm a pilot military and I fly around and all those elf girls will think you fly so cool.
It'd be so cool. And it's I will appreciate the guy being like, look, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with, you know, this kind of thing, because at the end of the day it's entertainment. It's what entertainment's there for. It's to entertain you, right? So
I do think maybe he will continue with this, but I can't believe you've seen Magical Warfare.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Yeah.
No, I think he says from you need to watch some mid every now and again. I don't think you actually need to tell people to do that because they'll come across something they will like anyway.
Yeah.
So
because people, it's true that it's like you shouldn't just be watching super high concept fucking snooty tooty fart stiffy stuff all the time, because that's how you end up fucking being a contrarian and being an idiot.
yeah,
Right? Is you just watch all this like, oh, I love my Evangelions. It's so high concept. Oh, so
my yokas.
like, oh, so good. Like, because he's right in that you do need to have like some variation, right? You need to be able to kind of
but to
you
repeat
have
myself,
have some perspective, right, on different things.
if
So,
you're already a media critical, reading between the lines kind of person, you're going to read stuff. You're going to watch something like, what was this? The Shelf Pandorian, the Crimson Egg Shelf Pandora, the Ghost in the Shell prequel about Yuri girls, about gay girls. And then you watch the show about gay girls, and suddenly the world around them is a super has massive messages on inequality, on systemic inequalities, about laws against poverty and whatnot, and the discrimination that follows, and the haves and the have-nots, and if you, that's a mid show which sneakily says, "Hey, income inequality."
oh fuck, Magician of D, because you mentioned mid-maxing. Ella, you probably didn't see this guy on Twitter because you're not on Twitter at all, right? There was a guy who's gone viral on Twitter. Oh fuck, I have to go see if I can find this because it's the funniest. I don't even want to tell you because I want to get a live on stream LE reaction to this man. Let me see if I can find it on my feed real quick. In the meantime, we could I'll kind of talk about like, yeah, there are people that are these hooty tooty types that just mid-max their watch lists, right? Because they just, they have to watch, like, do you remember back in the day when, what was it? It was those 3x3s?
Yeah.
Were like a big deal. Everyone was sharing their everyone's sharing their 3x3s, and everyone's like judging people for what they put in their 3x3 or whatever, right? Like that was a big thing a while ago. Oh yes, I found it.
All right. I am.
Hang on. I have to get this in the chat, and you have to do it with sound. It has to be with sound on Twitter, right?
All right. I have my Twitter account open, and if you,
all right, I've put it in the cast text. So you're gonna bring. Well, what you could do is once it because the bot in our server. Yeah, the bot in our server will do that, and then you can just like, can't you just like grab the video?
It's very funny because I actually have I don't log onto this account very often, but look, some Shabs guy, the Month of Basement guy, and maybe some other guy is already retweeting.
Right now, I'm probably not going to be able to hear it because Discord or whatever. Right?
I'm going to play it over.
Watching anime and watching TV in general feels to me like kind of a waste of time. And because I worship at the ultra productivity, and the only thing I care about is productivity, everything in my life has to be productive. Like, listening to audiobooks at 3.5x speed. And I sort of wished I could do the same for anime, and I've discovered this incredible new method for doing that. This is not that revolutionary. Maybe you know of it before, but it's basically based on a Chrome extension called Video Speed Controller. And this has absolutely changed the game. So now this is how I watch anime. So if we take like an early episode, for example, so there's no spoilers in this. It always starts with like an opening sequence. So obviously I'll kind of skip the opening sequence. I'll fast forward to like 2 minutes. And then I go full screen. And then what you can do with Video Speed Controller, the extension, is you can use hotkeys to like speed up the video or slow the video down or reset it. And so normally what I do is I'll just speed up until it gets to an interesting point, and I'll speed it as fast as I can so I can still keep up with it.
You're not watching the show. You're reading. This is speed reading.
And so what I'm pressing is I'm pressing D to speed up the video by 0.2 times each time. And I'm just pressing D quite a lot. And I'm pressing S to slow it down when it gets to an interesting point. And then if it gets to like a really interesting point and then I need to reset it, I just press the R button. So at the moment, this is really fast. And then I press R. And then it goes back to normal. And that's like really cool. So now when I've been eating dinner and stuff, this is how I've been watching Hunter x Hunter. And then I can like fully focus on it. And it just goes so fast when it's like kind of character building kind of stuff. And so I don't need to watch it at normal speed. And then when it gets to like a really cool fight sequence, or if they're explaining something like, you know, about how the different auras work or anything like that, then I can just press the R button, reset it to normal speed, and then I can kind of revamp it. So it sort of feels genuinely like you're playing a video game almost, and that you're sort of like tweaking the controls here and there. And it's just like a more engaging, more interesting way of watching stuff.
He's
Anime Max.
This is not the attention deficit thing. The young one.
No, it 100% is ADHD.
This is something else. This early part.
Is fucking.
You're not going to hear.
It's just.
This first 10 seconds.
Watching anime and watching TV in general feels to me like kind of a waste of time. And because I worship at the altar of productivity, and the only thing I care about is productivity, everything.
We worship at the altar of productivity. This is some toxic.
Yeah.
This is toxic.
Toxic productivity. Yeah. Toxic productivity. 100%. Yeah. Because my God, dude. My God. Like, I think the part that gets me, right? The part that gets me is he's watching in sub. So he's not even watching and because you know, I've heard like the argument for dubs, right? It's a shit argument, but I've heard an argument for dubs where it's like, oh, what if I need to like walk out of the room to like check on my cat or whatever, right? And I still want to be able to listen to that what's going on in the anime, right? And I'm like, okay, that's kind of dumb, but at the same, because just hit the fucking pause button, bro. But same time, understandable, right? Understandable if a bit dumb. He is fast forwarding something. It's like you said, it's like speed reading. He has to like speed read, right? He's not. How the fuck? What do you mean? How the fuck are you reading those subtitles at 3x speed? What are you doing? I think it's funny how you go onto the Twitter and everyone on your feed is dunking on him. Yeah, bro, read that at 3x speed. But 5-0. This person isn't real.
He kind of isn't. He made himself into a non-human.
He made himself into a flesh automaton. Made himself into a fucking flesh automaton. And also, Samu's right. Just read manga, dude. Like straight up. Like you can blitz through a manga in like what 10. Like fucking a few minutes, right? Like a minute or two for a chapter.
For him, the dub would be amazing because he could actually do something else besides. He could, you know, I don't know, read something.
He just
and
puts
listen.
the manga up on his. Yeah, he puts the manga up on his other monitor, and then he puts like his. I don't know, like whatever.
He could write something and just watch O's, you know, go, you know, glance over. He could treat it as TV. You know,
is a fight scene happening.
I'm hearing
slow
fights.
It down so I can watch the cool fight scenes.
But what? Also, just this is off track of the actual mid video, whatever.
Yeah, we're going off topic.
It
is kind of pseudo related, I guess, because it's like
I should actually change this title though.
Oh yeah, reviewing E3.
I can do this.
But yeah, no, it's this weird. There's this weird mentality, like because I was reminded of it because, like I said, Magician of D is like there's these people that just kind of like, you know, want to mid max, right? They just want to min-max their watching, because it's not about actually watching the show, right, or interacting with the media, right? It's about.
I was going to say, what besides this being more work than actually watching the thing,
yeah,
it's also mangling any emotional resonance or message, and if this is what I'm actually going to say. If you're just going to speed through the fight scenes, that's not being productive. That's not getting the story.
No, it's not.
Watch a fight scene compilation or something.
Yeah, like just go on YouTube and look at like fucking Hunter x Hunter top 10 best fights or whatever.
This is line go up in a very weird way.
Yeah, it's line go up, but it's also like
without any metrics, actually. Without
I feel like there's also this level of being able to say that you watched it, right? Like he's able to say, "Oh, I watched Hunter x Hunter. I'm just like you guys that watch the animes, right? I watched the thing, right?"
I feel that there's a deeper conversation to have about how this society worships productivity in general. Nah, but also,
what does this say about society?
Yeah. Nah, I'm reminding of Joe's series about the apocalypse. You know, how you had Akira, and that kind of symbolizes, hey, after atomic bomb, maybe there's some hope. Then there was something like Death Note, and there was, oh damn, we have to kill each other to get, ahead in the game. And then there's Isekai, which is, damn, the world actually sucks. There's no saving it. Let's go.
We have to escape.
We have to go somewhere else because the world actually sucks. The hope we had in Akira is gone. We killing each other didn't solve it either. Best just to give up on this world and do something different. And in that same way, the hustling, this feels like also an extension of hustle culture. Always making money, always just don't sleep.
Yeah, gotta keep on that grind set.
Yeah, right? Grind set, and this feels like another grind set, which is equally toxic and but only to yourself. This feels like the grind set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's toxic, but only because let's be real.
It's a grind set without the crime.
Yeah. Like the victim here is himself, right? Yeah, because he's not gonna be able to actually engage with what he's watching, right? He's just kind of like it's consuming, right? He's just consuming the media, as the kids would put it. Right?
I think he doesn't. It's not even really consuming. He's just. I'm going to keep it at he's grind setting without scamming others, without crime. He just
he's grind setting without a grind.
He's scamming himself.
Oh god, it's like that fucking the classic FromSoft meme of you cheated not only the game but yourself. You cheated not only the game but yourself.
It did, but this time it's actually true.
This time it's actually true, yeah. But anyway, back on topic.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a short video anyway, so it's probably not a bad thing that we have a few tangents.
Nah, it was a fun tangent instead of a.
It was
boring,
a fun tangent. So anyway, he's scamming his attention span.
This does way more poison to your attention span. Well, nah, never mind. No, I don't actually believe in the shortening of the attention span in general, but that's a different thing.
But anyway, let's get back to our boy here. Let's see what he has to say.
You should probably have something a bit healthier that your body will break down into useful nutrients, aka a series that deals with themes of any kind. And I think a lot of mid-stories are in fact narrative junk food. And
there it is.
The
screen wasn't moving for a second, but maybe why?
Okay, I'll just go back. I'll just go back for.
All right, it's fine. Yeah,
because that'll resync it as well. So
useful nutrients, aka a series that deals with themes of any kind. And I think a lot of mid-stories are in fact narrative junk food, and that's not said to be dismissive. I like sour cream and onion chips. I'm no stranger to indulging my base instincts as a consumer.
I hate sour cream and onion chips.
I don't mind. I'm more of a corn chip man myself. More of a corn chip man.
Over here,
I don't mind the sour cream and chives. I'm not too too fussy
I don't like.
about it.
I don't know. There's some real sting in those sour creams and garlic types. I very much no. It only exists here as far as I know. But paprika.
Oh, paprika.
Yeah, paprika flavored chips.
You mean the spice paprika?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like paprika.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it over there?
Well, I don't. No, I know of the spice.
Oh,
that's actually like not the flavor of chips, but like the actual spice paprika.
No.
That is.
Paprika flavored chips. That's the thing.
Maybe we're talking about two different things.
No, because I know it's only really exists here in the Netherlands. It's a Netherlands flavor. But I like those.
I did want to comment on he's like shows the isekai. He's like anything that has any themes at all, right?
He's showing smartphone, and it's a lot, criticism of smartphone.
It's valid when it comes to
it's a known quantity. That's what it is.
Right, okay. All right, well, let's keep going then.
Of food and or storytelling. But most importantly for this conversation, when we know we like something, we can figure out high quality alternatives. If we want to. Like how Fire Force helped me find one of my favorite shows from the last few years. Season 1 of Fire Force is what I would call the embodiment of mid. It is a completely average show with excellent sound design and fight scenes, carrying extremely simple characters and themes while having to deal with fan service that actively gets in the way.
Now I remember why. Now I remember why I added this.
This is kind of also the problem with labeling something mid. It's always a personal preference in the end.
Yeah, because I'm going to be real. I don't agree with his assessment of Fire Force at all. I actually think Fire Force is kind of interesting. Because there's like a lot of sort of mystery boxes going on in Firefox. Fuck it out. Fire Force. Because it starts out being like quite simple, right? It's just he's got his
fire monsters come in. You have to
fire monsters, right? And then it's like, his mom and his brother was killed, but then you find out, they're alive technically, right? The mom has been turned into a demon, right? And the brother is like on the bad guy team, and then what are the motivations of the bad guy team? Why is the bad guy team doing the bad guy stuff?
It very much lost me the moment where it introduced the insects as a kind of a...
Yeah, they introduced those insects that like turn people into fire monsters.
Well, maybe not even... That's kind of fine on their own, but then there was this, when the doctor guy turned into an insect. Where then the thematic connection between fire and whatnot kind of fell apart. Also, when the gods just came through thin air, a barrier somewhere or something.
Well, and then there was also some interesting world building with like the furnace stuff, because they go to
furnaces were cool, but when
they go to the other continent and they find like one of the furnaces that's like not. It's like an oasis because of this one thing. I'm not going to go for the whole thing. But there is some interesting stuff going, and it gets more like, because the anime obviously hasn't gone as far as the manga, and because the manga obviously has that one moment in it with the fan service stuff that I fucking love, right? But also it starts breaking down and becoming this whole big old society. What does it say about society? Like the author just starts kind of going off the rails and having like fucking political rants and shit and whatnot, which I hope they get to that. I hope it gets animated because it'd be fucking hilarious.
Hasn't there been an adaptation in a couple of years? Not that it can continue or maybe, but we'll
see. But to kind of look back, I'm getting real tired of the Fire Force example for the fan service. It got in the way. Well, first off, got in the way of what? If he's already saying that it's mid, right? If he's already saying, it's just a basic plot to carry basic characters as buffs, it's so boring, right? Then what the fuck is the fan service actually getting in the way of for him, right? Like, what is there to get in the way, right? That's the first problem. And then the second problem is obviously the fan service. I've mentioned this before, but to win a Twitter argument, I quite literally went on YouTube and I typed in Tamaki fan service scenes compilations, right? And I was like, season 1 and 2, right? It's like 10 minutes. It's like 11 minutes or 10 minutes of collective screen time, right? For this character in particular. Now, that's not counting like the other characters, because the muscle witch girl gets some fan service here and there, right? Like, obviously there's more fan service scenes in the show, but when it's Tamaki specifically, because she's the one that everyone like loses their mind over, we're talking about like, because it's 2 seasons, so it's like 24. Oh, it was more than 24 episodes a season, wasn't it? I can't remember. Because I think Fire Force went for a little longer. I'd have to go look it up again. But it's like over the course of the 2 seasons, right? 10 minutes of screen time, right? You're going to tell me, right, that you are that fucking distracted by the booba, right? That 10 minutes of, like, that's bit, like, if you, Gazelle, you're a math man, you do math, right?
Yeah.
If you, like, split that over 12 episodes, right? You split like 10, because each episode's what, like 40, 30 minutes, something like that, right? It's like 30 or 40 minute episodes. And
actually,
you split,
it's more like closer to 18 when you cut out the ED and OP.
Yeah, so like so it's like each episode's 18 minutes, right? It's like if you split that over the course of the whole show, it's not that much runtime at all, right? It's like a minuscule amount of the show is the fan service. And it typically tends to be front-loaded in Pacific episodes, right? It's not like every episode has Tamaki in it, right? Like when they went to the fucking, like, as we just mentioned, the other continent, right?
Yeah.
She was there for that. But I don't remember her, like, having any intense, like, fan service moments during that arc, actually, now that I think about it. So that's what I mean. I think Fire Force gets a raw deal, right? I think Fire Force gets a raw deal from people because they get so fucking triggered by the fan service. They don't want to like actually engage with it on any meaningful level, right? God,
yeah,
I almost want to rewatch. I almost want to rewatch it, right? I almost want to rewatch it so that I can like talk about it again, right? Because it's been so long since I've like watched it, and it was kind of like, because we did cover some Fire Force videos at the time back in the day before the long dark.
I think there's
right?
one of those videos in the queue or in the considerations.
Well, no, more like, no, I'm talking about like before we came back and started doing the streaming, right? We covered some Fire Force videos while it was airing, right, at the time, right?
Yeah,
and I almost want to I almost want to rewatch Fire Force just so that I can like modernize my opinions on it, so I can like have it fresh in my mind, so I can talk about it again, right? Because I really want to fucking like get in on this. I want to become Fire Force's strongest soldier. Okay, I'm gonna become the strongest defender of Fire Force. I'm gonna fucking defend the shit out of the show.
Like I am for Isekai, because you better know that when I am in some random Discord server and they start talking about how all Isekais are the same, you know that
all of them are the same. Oh, there's 50 of them a season. Oh.
Then I go, well, do you know? I catch your feelings, but do you know why you are feeling this? Let me tell you about something called shosetsu. You see?
Yeah.
Every time.
Why? Yeah. Why you feel? Yeah.
And then I go from, this is why it feels like this way, but there's not that many. Look, this one Isekai like last season that didn't come from shosetsu that was published in blah 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 blah. And you see,
yeah.
I can go as long as I can go as long as you just.
Yeah, I hate that Fire Force has become this like cultural battleground almost, right?
This is some slightly older video, so the battleground has moved on.
Well, no, it hasn't though. It hasn't, Ellie, because people keep bringing it up all the time. Well, I mean, you're right in terms of this video, right? Because I don't remember when this video came out. Like, I'd have to look at Let me go find the date. When did this come out? It was 8 months ago. So it's not that. It's like October last year. So it's not that old. It's not that old. But
it's getting older.
Yeah, it's but people online, especially on Twitter and whatnot, right? Like they just like constantly bring up Fire Force like all the time as like, because people will have those like engagement farm tweets where they're like, oh, fan service bad, right?
I only see content farms, engagement. I hate it.
Engagement farms. Well, you do your best to not see that shit, but I end up seeing it all the time, right? Because people. Okay, this is gonna be another rant, guys. I'm not talking to the chat. I'm talking to like Twitter that can't hear me and is never gonna see me, right? Guys, stop taking the bait. All right, stop taking the fucking bait. You don't have to respond to every fan service bad tweet. Okay, you don't have to respond to them, because what ends up happening is that's what they want, okay? They want you to quote tweet it so that it gets pushed into everyone else's fucking feed and they feel like they have to respond to it, right? Just stop. If you see one of these botted, like, 50 gillion whatever something tweets that's like, oh man, these animes are so fancy. What show ruined by the fan service? And it's just literally Fire Force and like what 2 or 3 other shows or whatever, right? Don't respond. Just leave it. Let the content farmers fucking do their thing, right? If it's someone that's like, I don't know, Mother's Basement, or someone like, I don't know, Gigic, or someone like that, or whatever, like just naming anti-tubers, like actual real people, right? If it's actual real people making actual arguments, then engage. But don't just fucking like quote tweet every single like 14-year-old who's like fucking trying to get big numbers, right?
Yeah,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it, and you are just helping them push that shit into everyone's feeds, right? It gives them what they want. They want the attention. They want people to get mad, right? Because it's trolling for them. They're fucking trolling, okay? That's why I don't respond to that stuff as much as I like used to on Twitter, because I just, there's no point, right? I'd much rather get into like a 3-hour like fucking argument with someone over localized, like you wouldn't have seen this, but I was like arguing with someone in a reply thread about localization, and I decided to do a funny and pretended to be a leftist. Like just using leftist arguments against a leftist, because we got into this whole like conversation about how if the localizers are workers, doesn't that mean that the artists are also workers and the localizers are treading on the artists' rights? And and we got into this whole fucking thing. It was funny. It was really good. But Nretsew, they call us a PDF. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, I'm not saying don't defend yourself, right? Like, you should at least defend yourself. But you have to be strategic about it, right? And I know that's, like, nebulous to say, right? But just because, again, you don't have to respond to every 14-year-old on Twitter, right? Like I kind of have this new rule now where it's like, I don't respond unless it's, like, either someone that has equal or more followers to me, or it's someone that, like, says something that's just that fucking stupid. Right?
Yeah.
And it's something that has to be countered, right? But if it's just like the fucking like just random fucking nonsense, it's like, no, just don't do it. You can refuse. You can refuse to engage, right?
Daga Kosomaru.
But anyway, that was my rant.
Yeah.
It kind of went off there for a little.
The Fire Force really triggers you.
It does. No, it does. It actually does. Like, it actually triggers me because I'm so fucking tired. I'm tired of the Fire Force slander, Ali. I'm tired of it. I will stand up and defend my Fire Force. I will. All right, but okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Because I know I probably much already know what he's gonna say. He's about to fucking. I know it.
It's not because its production hooked me, but because its world hooked me. World building and setting are particular interests of mine, and the world of Fire Force I find to be utterly fascinating. It's a modern-ish society in which a great fire cataclysm happened in the past, and the survivors now deal with the reality that at any point in time, they can spontaneously combust. What kind of world does that create? Well, a hierarchical theocracy and decently stratified society featuring a contingent of nativist Japanese and a large diverse group of refugees from the crisis, and non-Edoist Japanese who have culturally meshed into one large fire-fearing populace, where as a result the firefighting organizations have immense social clout and are therefore explicitly affiliated with various political and economics institutions. How's that for a snapshot?
One take, baby, one take. Woo!
Fire Force is my love of world building distilled, and it was telling that any time we learned more about the setting, I was at my most interested. The Asakusa arc is my favorite in the 2 seasons we've gotten to this point, and there's a whole episode dedicated to infiltrating a religious order of assassins to learn more about their role in society. And I think Fire Force does a really good job in building obvious questions. Information about the Whiteclad and the Evangelist are spread out like crumbs, leading you from episode to episode when the moment-to-moment storyline might not be it. There's this conspiratorial feeling throughout the series that there are multiple political entities working in the shadows to maintain power, even if that's at the expense of the populace. And that's that good socioeconomic religious systems working in concert and conflict to create pressure on our protagonists that I particularly enjoy about this kind of world building. When Fire Force is fully burning, its world feels alive, with distinct actors whose actions are building into the larger whole.
So I'm waiting for the butt. I'm waiting for the butt.
I was going to say that I feel Fire Force very quickly went beyond the ordinary people, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of missed that. I kind of thought it was a very cool first.
Bit.
Because, you know, when what's his name again, Nretsew?
Fire Force spoilers are the best, yeah. You didn't think you'd get spoiled on Fire Force today, did you?
It's all first 2 seasons, nothing really that special, and it's being somewhat vague. So infiltrating an order of assassins. By the time you watch that, you've already forgotten.
But anyhow.
Main character guy. He laughs when he's nervous and it's a creepy smile. Then he saves, the soul of a guy's wife. Sweet moment. After that, nothing, and not anything like that. It's all super big.
It becomes big conspiracy, big.
It becomes like I said, it's become big conspiracy all the time. There's no room to go back to the small stuff anymore, and it's kind of sad.
I get what you're saying, yeah, because those early episodes there was a lot of that, like.
Oh, the first 2 episodes were really.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes, yeah, like there's this kind of like in the world building, right? They set up like, oh yeah, this is something that people just kind of have to deal with, and how do you actually deal with like your wife just suddenly turns into a fucking fire monster one day?
The show doesn't actually. Besides what he mentions, a religious institution gaining a lot of power and kind of its own military.
And then he kind of glossed over it, but there was also, as mentioned, that whole like multicultural thing, because you had like the traditionalist Japanese city versus the more like homogenized main city, right? And how those two like cultures kind of clash with each other, right? So there was some interesting stuff about that in those episodes as well, like kind of talking about multiculturalism in a sense. But the thing is, right, he's like, it's mid, right? But he's gassing it the fuck up, right? He's gassing it up and making it sound so fucking cool, which it is, right? I'd obviously like it because of a lot of this stuff, right? But the issue is, that's why I'm saying I'm waiting for the butt. I'm waiting for that fucking butt that's going to come, because I know it's coming, right? Because he's already kind of blown his load on it by going about the fan service and my basic characters and right? Like he's already done it. But now I'm waiting for it again. I'm waiting for that. Yeah. Man, I loved the show so much. But fan service. Oh no, the anime titties in my my show, Ellie. I can't. I can't take it seriously anymore.
Keep it together, man. Let's play the
fuck
video.
You. Fuck you. I'm mad. Angry Kiwi has returned to the stream. Right, anyway.
Even as the audience doesn't understand the grand picture. Don't get me wrong, I like Fire Force's action, and I've grown to really like the characters. I'd argue that while Fire Force Season 1 is mid, even as I've talked about how much I enjoy it, Season 2 is just solidly good, which is a nice uncommon reward for sticking with a mid show. But it is its setting and its interplay of societal systems and narrative questions that flow out of the world so naturally, like, what's the rest of the world look like after this catastrophe? That got me to like it when I otherwise would have bounced off. And I would have bounced off incredibly hard. The reason this matters is simple. It's a good guide to help me find other stories I can sink my teeth into, including ones that wouldn't get classified as junk food. You might be saying to yourself, that's silly. Shouldn't I know I like world building since I love stories like Kekai Sensen and Psychopaths and Full Metal Alchemist? If all I had ever seen is masterpieces and shows that are engaging for me on multiple levels, how would I know that I'm not just a sucker for action? Pop in 7 Deadly Sins and waste my time on a series that does absolutely nothing for me. Having something that, at least on outset, was being carried by one element that I loved has helped me as a consumer pick other series that I have a good faith belief that I'll like instead of throwing caution to the wind and picking up Liar Liar, because I liked Great Pretender, right? Under no...
So...
He didn't go to the butt.
No, he didn't go to the butt, which was funny, but I liked how he, like, considered himself a consumer. He's a consumer.
That's such a toxic concept.
It does. It is, and it's kind of demeaning. Like, he's kind of self-deprecating himself a bit in a way. Like, come on, man, have some self-respect. You don't have to consider yourself a consumer.
I'm not going to call it, besides the literal definition, I'm not going to call these streams content because they're fun for me. And
yeah, we're having fun.
Fun things.
I like getting triggered. I like getting angry.
but I'm like getting angry. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun things.
I don't want a solution. I just want to be me.
Fun things aren't content.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of feel like he's selling himself a little short there, right? Because
yeah, but it's kind of the...
I'll be real. Like, I don't think he's dumb, right? I think he's clearly got a head on his shoulders, right? And the way that he's articulated his points, like the video itself, right, is good, right? Yeah. I don't actually think this is a bad video. Like, I don't really have any criticisms necessarily about the video itself. His editing's pretty good. His script, I would say he's been a bit flowery in the language a little bit. Makes it a little bit hard to track.
He's in his ivory tower. He likes to do the flowery
thing.
He's
being a bit hooty tooty there, right? A little bit, but I can forgive that. I can forgive it, right? It's fine, right? It's okay. It's okay to flex your intellectual muscles every now and then on people, right? It's okay. Yeah. But then he's like, he's saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm a consumer. I consume the anime," and it's like, come on, man. You do yourself a bit better than
call
that,
it
right?
Enjoyer, call it a watcher or something.
Yeah, the Chad anime enjoyer versus the virgin anime consumer, right? Like, yeah, definitely. But anyhow, let's keep going.
Circumstance should you watch Liar Liar? So my point is, I don't really have to explain to you what drew me to Akudama Drive. Merely me telling you that it's a cyberpunk dystopia where the Kansai region of Japan is under the thumb of Kanto, with a strong police presence enforcing Kanto's laws, and the sole connection between the two, the Shinkansen, is an object of worship. You can see why, purely off of that, I was in for the ride. That is a setting that has ideas and conflict and conspiracy spilling out of it. That doesn't get into its magnificent visual style, its killer soundtrack, its discussion of justice, power, and morality, and the quick rundown is only the start of an extremely interesting world that is absolutely playing off of Blade Runner and its ilk. Akudama Drive has a little bit more of that heft to it, some of that good protein, vitamins, and minerals, all the while having a basis that I knew worked for me, that crunchy-ass world building, and admittedly completely over-the-top action. And it's thanks to what I learned about myself as a consumer in shows like...
I learned about myself as a consumer. Like, here's the thing. I know what he means, right? I know what he means when he says that. It's just, it's hard not to think about consume.
Don't
ask questions, just consume product. Like, it's hard not to think about that when someone says that, right? It's really it's like brain rot has taken hold, right?
In Nretsew, I don't know what you thought when he said, what was it? The Kansai region dominated by Kanto laws.
The train is like a thing of worship and stuff.
And it's damn, that's a thing, right? Worshipping the soul connection and a mode of transport between it. That kind of feels like, sailors worshipping sea gods or something, and safe returns, and then you got colonialism, and then that sounds, almost like a Dutch colony in the far.
Yeah, it's right up your.
Hey.
It's like your blood starts twitching. Your blood starts twitching in your body. But no, I get, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, it sounds interesting, right? But I would say though, right, like, I would like. I mean, we got like a third left, right? I want him to kind of start conducing his point a little bit now, because he kind of needs to like, because he's sort of explained what the defensive mid is, which is essentially you watch the mid so that you can learn more about yourself, so that you can better identify things that you would be into, right? Which is kind of a good point, I guess, right? Like, that's fine.
I have my problem with that point, but
yeah, a little bit, right? Like, it's not. He hasn't fully fledged it yet, so I'm hoping in the last like 2 minutes he's gonna hammer it home, right? So let's see what he has to say.
Fire Force, that led me to giving it a shot. For another example that is more anime specific, because world building is a general story construction element, we could look to Nisekoi. I think Nisekoi as a story is incredibly mediocre. I do not care about these characters or the plot. It's a rom-com harem. You already know everything there is to know about it, including that Onodera is best girl, but it's a mid-2010s Shaft anime. This is peak of its powers Monogatari Sangatsu no Lion Shaft. Nisekoi is not as outrageous as the bits of Monogatari I've seen, nor as profound as the depths of Sangatsu no Lion, but as a production effort, it is fantastic. Its storyboarding is phenomenal. Its small directional touches take advantage of the medium of animation. I still love its habit in transporting characters to background that are more the embodiment of their emotional state than their physical location. In a story with a dearth of things that I cared about, Nisekoi was a nice moment of realization that a strong anime production doing things that were exclusive to its medium was something that I should seek out. We could continue along this treadline for about a dozen other shows. If you like discussions of utilitarianism in Tokyo 20...
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, hammer it home. Come on, what are you doing? Because he's just made the same point twice, right? He's just made the same point twice. He hasn't actually hammered it home, because he already made the point with Fire Force, right? That, I watched Fire Force, and then that made, I already knew I liked world building, but because I watched Fire Force, then it led me to want to give this other show a try.
This example was because which is exclusive to anime storyboarding in this sense. So
right, yeah, in a sense, right? But I don't know if that was necessary. Yeah, because I already got the point, right? I already got what he was meaning by, like it feels like it's just kind of repeating himself, right, a little bit. So let's keep going. We're almost done.
24th Ward, you should check out Death Parade. If you like the revenge aspect of a Kamega kill, there's no reason not to watch Planet With. If you liked the family globetrotting while the fate of the world falls onto one person in Fena Pirate Princess, you should watch Scrapped Princess. That's the utility that I find in mid-anime personally, and while I'll never look down on people for taking to an inoffensive series that I otherwise find average or subpar, something about it is speaking to them, probably in the same way that a show like Taisho Samurai speaks to me about passion. And if they can't find that special sauce anywhere else, how could I possibly begrudge them? But if My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer are your one of one, please come to these coordinates on screen right now to see if I'm serious about my desire to fight ya. What's your favorite mid-anime? Comment with your thoughts, subscribe for more, and until next time, thanks.
So I saw
So what's your favorite mid-anime?
Kind of a bad. I mean, I have watched that We Are So Back video, which it was just, I like this scene. I'm going to explain what I like about this scene and what I think this scene means with the same language and whatnot. Just a aside. Mid anime that I like. I don't really keep track of favorite anime. That's kind of a thing.
I would argue, if I was gonna like, because he had Black Rock Shooter show up on his intro, right? The original Black Rock Shooter, not the new one. I haven't actually watched the new one yet because it was on Amazon and I'd have to go torrent it. I haven't gone out of my way to find the torrent for it yet. But the classic one, right? The fight scenes in it and anything involving like the 3D dream kind of realm is fantastic. It's fucking amazing. The storyboarding, the stylization, the animation, it's fucking great. Everything in the real world with the character drama and all of the fucking insane nonsense, it's fucking just bad. It's terrible. But so it's one of those things where I could say, yeah, it's mid because it's like you have like that balance going on where it's like you have to deal with boring high school drama. Oh, my friend's not talking to me. Oh, I need to defend my friend from the bully. Oh, so and so, right? That's not even like well written or well executed, right? At least from what I remember of it, because I watched this when I was fucking.
All right,
young,
I have some.
But I'll cap it off and then I'll let you go, right? So so what I mean is like with the Black Rock Shooter example, like I would say, yeah, that's mid. That's not something that you probably should just go on YouTube and watch all the fights on the thing, right? Because you can. There was a video on there that's like fucking half an hour. That's literally just all the fights stitched together, and you'd probably get a better time out of it than watching the whole show, right? And of course, that's just my opinion. Obviously, I think people can disagree with me, but that's kind of. If I was gonna, if someone asked me what's your favorite mid anime, right, and I had to say something, it would probably be that. That would probably be what I'd say. So, what about you?
All right, my first example is what I don't actually think is mid in that sense. The Working series. The family restaurant crew working in the family restaurant. It's a comedy show with slowly becomes more romantic as it goes. It's a fun time where you learn these characters and you see them grow, and it's all kind of it's all about character growth. It's almost only about character growth, I guess, in that sense. But I wouldn't call it mid for that alone. 1 second, I saw another show in this list of folders that you don't have to worry about. Not Shana, something else.
I haven't finished the Fire Force manga. I do kind of want to go and read it at some point. But I do know it gets fucking wild. I do know it gets really fucking wild, and there's obviously the speech, right, about fan service that I fucking love. I love that fucking speech so much.
All right, so
I can't speak about no spoils for the no spoils, because I definitely want to get to it at some point when I've got time.
So I don't know. I'm a defender of art. I'm a defender of anime. I'm not going to call any of them mid.
Yeah, you're not going to sit here and be like, it's shit.
No, because
it's shit.
I very, very much like Knights of Sidonia, and I very much appreciate its attempt at 3D. So stuff like So I very much give my thanks to Knights of Sidonia for Girls Band Cry kind of deal. And I can't call it mid, and I like the manga, so I can't call the anime mid for it as well. Maybe Suisei no Gargantia, or Gargantia the Verdant Sea Green. It's the guy with the robot that falls into the sea and gets picked up by a flotilla of a planet.
Something or another, yeah.
But like I said, it's my mindset when we start talking about good or bad anime. I'm just locked. I get locked into this. No anime is truly ever really bad and has nothing to say, and everything that has something to say has value. So I am
right.
It's a disability,
and I can
really.
and I can like I can get that, right? And I do kind of agree with that on some level, because I feel like what people kind of miss a lot is, the guy did kind of talk about in the video, right? Like different, sometimes something will speak to someone that doesn't speak to someone else, right? And like it's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder almost, right? So it's one of them things. Like, I do appreciate him for not being too dismissive. He was being a bit fucking dismissive though, little bit dismissive. But I'll say, like, this video, right, for final thoughts and moving on, right? I did think this was a good video, right? Production wise, it's good. Editing wise, it's fine. Voice wise, it's fine. I do think that he fumbled the ball though, because he didn't really concise his point at the end and make, like, okay, what, in defense of mid anime, right? But his only real defense of it is you use mid anime as a stepping stone to find something that's not mid, right?
Yeah, but
is essentially the boiled down consolidation of his point, right? So I feel like he could have made that point without having to repeat himself twice, right? In saying, hey, I watched Fire Force because I like the world building, and because I like the world building in Fire Force, that meant I gave this other show that had a wacky kind of premise a shot, and it ended up being like super good to me, right? Yeah, that's great. That's cool. So is that the defensive mid, or is there something else going on, right? And then he just makes that point, and then he just makes that point again with another show, and then he just kind of keeps making that point, and it's like,
yeah, I don't like, labeling something mid and kind of using it as a stepping stone, because working might not be intellectually stimulating, but I very much enjoyed my time watching these characters grow. I very much liked, the genius princess and the, revolutionary princess. What's this? What a gay show? I'm super gay. I'm not going to marry some man.
Oh yes, that one. Yeah.
That one show was fun and had some stuff to say about equality and magic for everybody kind of deal.
Yeah.
I can mention other stuff. Some Seitokai no Ichijon, a show that I mentioned more than people know of. Which is that bounces between random comedy and super melancholy. That's very impressive to me. I am going to praise that show for everything that I like for it. And shows that I don't like, I'm not going to say it's mid because I don't like it. Somebody will like it. Somebody will appreciate some show for some reason, and I'm not going to call it mid because I don't think so. It's a thing I have with art. It's like I said.
Well, I mean, I get you. No, I get you, and I understand. I think you're not. I don't necessarily disagree. So anyway, I guess we should talk about some mid anime
then. Yeah. This show is full of mids because there's no, like I was said, Nretsew, no shows this season that are worth our time.
No, there's no shows at all.
Nretsew, how many shows have you watched this week?
One.
You see,
one.
Only one show was worth Nretsew's time.
Well, look, no. To my credit, I was very busy this week. I've been getting new work schedule, having to work out what I'm gonna do for that, right? So I have to figure out what's going to be my new dedicated anime watch time, right? Is basically what's going to have to happen. So I only really watched one show, so I guess we should start with that just so I can get that out of the way.
Yeah,
and go grab a
I'll
drink
do a lot of talking.
Because you're going to be talking about all of the shows, right? So the one show that I watched was the VTuber one. The VTuber that gets drunk on stream and forgets to turn off her mic. Falls asleep. Fucking great. Absolutely fantastic first episode. And I'm really impressed with how committed to the VTubing bit it is. Because as you can see on the screen, right, they actually got a real live 2D model right? Like, that's not, like, it's kind of interesting because it's not, like, animated, right? It's actually just a live 2D model that they probably, like, recorded doing the movements, right?
This is live action. This is live action footage.
Yeah, it is. It's like straight up, like, feels like an actual VTuber stream, right? And I was really impressed with that. I think it is kind of weird how, like, okay, so she has the VTuber model, but then in the real life, she's just her. Right? She's just dressed as the princess.
I think that's
the character.
That's kind of how we see VTubers, though.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I think it's interesting, right? I think it's interesting because it's like, are we viewing the world through a lens, right? Like, are we seeing this as like, okay, she's not actually the VTuber in real life, right? But because we're viewing it through like some kind of warped perspective, right?
A filtered perspective.
Filtered perspective. She's looks like the VTuber to just kind of represent that character, right? Or the real life like person, right? And I think that's interesting. I'm really interested to see how the other characters work, right? What the other characters, like, tropes.
Yeah, because, VTubers, when they talk about going outside and watching the zoo, and when one of these characters is a seal, and they went to the aquarium and watched seals, the joke on stream is, I watched my family.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you're going to draw something with her and the seals, you'll have one, hey papa, hey mama, her waving at the seals.
Right.
Therefore, when she was at the zoo, she was her VTuber self.
Yeah.
It's the logical extension of it.
Yeah, I think that I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. And again, I'm really impressed with how it's authentic, right? It feels really authentic because so I guess I'm just going to kind of talk about how the show kind of starts out, right? So it starts out with, kind of like, all of these people tuning into the stream, right?
Stream
and they're
starts,
all watching.
Like you all did.
Yeah, she does her stream, and it's all hunky dory, and it's all good, right? And then and again, it's presented in a really authentic way, where it's like, yeah, here's the VTuber model, there's the chat, right? Here's the UI for YouTube, right? And they're kind of going through the motions of that, right? And then obviously the stream ends, and she forgets to turn off the mic, and all of a sudden then the true self shows, because she's putting on that persona of, I'm a pure
snow
princess girl. And it's interesting because do you remember that one Niji Sanji VTuber? She retired, I think. The orange haired girl, like a really old girl, right? Really classic Niji Sanji girl. Right?
In Japanese or English?
Japanese, yeah, Japanese one. Yeah, like one of the earliest ones. Like, she was one of the earlier ones. She looked kind of like a apple tree farmer or something. Like, she had like the overall, maybe not the overall, but she had like the dress. Maybe that was her. I'd have to bring up. You'd have to bring up a picture.
Was there sunflower in there?
Yeah, she is kind of like, oh no, maybe not the sunflower one, but she was the one where, like, she actually had not necessarily the same experience as this VTuber, right? But she had that, she started out trying to play the role of like, I'm pure, I'm so cute, but then she just had like a moment where she was like, this isn't me, fuck this, I'm gonna be Garu, fucking swearing, talking about porn, being vulgar, fuck this, I'm just gonna be who I am. And then she actually got kind of popular because of the clips that were going. I think, was it one where she was like, oh no, that wasn't here, I can't remember. It gets really annoying because they all kind of merge, especially when we're talking about like the older ones, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't fucking remember the names, and annoys the shit out of me. But I know what they look like, right? But I can't remember the names. But she had a very similar kind of story to this to the character in the show, where it wasn't like she forgot to turn the stream off and people found out. It was more like she just decided, no, I'm sick of being a character. I'm going to be myself. And myself is I'm a vulgar, I swear and I fucking, do all this stuff. So that's kind of, so she
Era. Difficult Japanese name.
Japanese hard.
Japanese hard. No, I have the image, and so I remember she did a live stream where she got if you give her money, the money appeared in the 3D environment and fell on top of her. So what happened? A lot of people, super chatted her, gave her money. So in her 3D model space, she was drowning in money. Remember that?
Yes. This is here. Yeah. This is here. Yeah, exactly the one I'm talking about. Because I think, because she retired, I think, in 2021. I think. So she had it was 2 years, I think, was her run. But yeah, so basically, hang on, I'm trying to unselect. No, I'm trying to unselect. There we go. The text, because I copied and pasted it to Google it, and then YouTube is like, "Do you want to ban the critical critique chat from the chat?" I'm like, "No, YouTube. I want to unselect the text. You okay?" But anyway, so what happens with the girl on the show is she gets drunk on the stream because she forgets to turn it off, and she tunes into like her Kohai's streams, right?
Yeah.
To her gen mates, and she goes to and one of them's playing the and again the authenticity, right? Because they actually have the sausage game that a lot of the Japanese play.
That's what I appreciated. The actual game being played.
It was the actual sausage game, and she's sitting there talking about how I'm gonna be gooning. I'm gooning to you right now. I want to get pregnant with your baby. Because she's drunk off her ass, and she's just talking about how she wants to get pregnant with her babies. And so she's doing that, and then she tunes into another stream, and it's an ASMR stream. And I didn't have my headphones in, but was that section in actual ASMR? Because it probably was. Probably was if I had headphones on. And she's listening to ASMR. She's like, yeah, so good.
And then she falls asleep to it.
And then she falls asleep, and she wakes up, and her manager is like frantically trying to call her, and is like, I need you to not panic, but you need to turn your stream off.
And then she's trending as things do.
She's trending. She's super. And then she's like, "No, my life is over. I'm done. Oh no!"
And then she goes, "Fuck it. This is my thing now."
No. What happens? She's talking with the manager. You're skipping the part. She's talking with the manager. You're skipping the really funny part, the funny joke, which is she's talking to the manager, and the manager's like, this is great. This is exactly what we were expecting from you, because when you did your audition, you were unhinged as fuck. So we thought you were going to be unhinged as fuck anyway. And she... we were surprised when you were all pure and wholesome. We thought that you were playing a bit, and that this was gonna happen anyway. That you planned it all from the start. And she's like, "What?" And then she gets rung up by the one girl that she was watching, and she's like, "What does gooning mean?"
No, she didn't say that. I asked my manager because this is
ask my manager.
Gen mates talking to each other. One gen mate says to main girl, "Hey, I heard you said you were gooning to me. I didn't know what it meant, so I asked my manager, and my manager said to me it meant that you think I'm cute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking great. So good. So yeah, so then she goes out, she goes to the shop, you know, just your normal ice princess girl going to the shop as you do. As you
Sitting
do.
on the swing.
She puts the trash away, right? She puts the trash and then takes out the trash, and then she goes to the shop and buys more cans of booze, right? And she's like sitting at the swing, and she has like this moment of introspection, and then we get the next stream where she's like, "All right, fuck it," cracks the can, starts drinking, and I don't think you probably have it on the screen, but there's the reference to hydrate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I put that in the chat, because I think I put that.
I forgot about it, but yeah, the
video of like the guy, because it's a football guy, and he like takes the bottles of Coke and puts them on the other end of the table, and he picks up the water and he's like, hydrate. You need to hydrate.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, I mean, people who don't care, but the whole thing of Coca-Cola, sugar with added water, sponsoring a sport event. That's kind of weird. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the few people who can pull this off, just took the sponsored object that money was paid to have it there away from there, and had just a plain bottle of water replace it.
Yeah.
Fuck the sponsors. Fuck your sugar with a bit of water. Drink water. And then it was this
water.
And then it was a whole thing. Coca-Cola was asked to respond, to give comment on the situation. Other people, sport teams, were replacing the cola or adding other non-sponsored drinks to the lineup.
So they reference that in the show, where she's because she starts talking about like I fucking love it, because she's like talking about how it's okay to goon for other women. It's okay to goon. In fact, women like it when people are forward. You need to be more forward, just like I was. We love it.
I'm going to goon to you right now, VTuber.
I'm gonna goon to you right now. And then her senpai like shows up, and the senpai is like, "What's your favorite like fujoshi lesbian
scenario?"
Scenario, yeah. And then they're like, "Cool, we should do a collab sometime."
Another senpai is kind of panicking.
Oh yeah, the other senpai is like the Shrine Maiden, and she's like a mod. Like she's like, "I'll moderate for you," and the Shrine Maiden is like all embarrassed and like fucking like she's probably gonna be playing like the Say-So, right? Like she's super Say-So, but she's getting corrupted, right, by
something,
yeah,
trying
that's another
but
thing,
not
right?
being able to keep things under control.
Yeah. So yeah, no, the show is fucking great. I'm on board. I'm totally on board. And now, Samu, I need to. You still in the chat, Samu? I hope you're still in the chat, Samu, because I'm going to talk about this. If you go on to the, let me go grab it, because I put it in the chat for my chat, but I'll put it in the chat. So they have an official YouTube channel for the show where they post like the trailers and stuff, but they modeled it after the VTuber. And there's like a month ago, they had like, oh, the VTuber is like street, like, oh, this is the VTuber, right? And they have the girl actually VTube, right, on the thing. And so they put out an ASMR, and it's a 1 hour ASMR. Oh, you've linked it in the chat, I see, right? It is a 1 hour ASMR of nothing but conditioning for you. Enjoy. It's literally just that for an hour. Crack. It's fucking great. See, that's what I mean. I love how they're committed to the bit. It's great. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, I'm on board. This is going to be my only anime I watch for the season. Well, no, I'll probably be watching more anime once I find the time. But this is the one that I was like, yeah, no, I have to. This is great. This is good.
All right.
So anyway, I'm gonna fill up a glass of drink, and then it's time for Ellie to have a nice long talk about all the animes.
All the animes. So I'll start with Oshinoko. And it's a little bit awkward because you haven't watched it and I have read the manga. So that means that I doubly know what's happening and you doubly don't know what's happening. But I'll keep things vague for you, Nretsew. No spoilers for you. Spoilers for the chat though, we don't care. Oh, Samu's back. Same with the link above is 1 hour of or you heard Nretsew. No. Where was I? Yeah. I'll keep things vague for Nretsew because I care about Nretsew. Chat can get spoiled. I don't care. Do you remember last season how it ended? I can't hear Nretsew. This is awkward to talk to. Last season ended with that a play of theater adaptation of Tokyo Blade was coming. Tokyo Blade is an in-universe manga.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Akane was going to be a character. Kana was going to be a character. Aqua was going to be a character.
Big rivalry. Big ooh.
Yeah.
Big ooh. I want his dick. No, I want his dick.
Kinda. Also represent... Analoged and represented with allegories in the story itself. Nretsew, you will like this. It's about adaptation and adaptating.
Ooh. Also, I saw Samu saying that he's back. I don't know if he was here when we were explaining.
Well, there was it could either mean that he heard your cracking of the can and said, "Oh damn, we're back." You know, the conditioning triggered in again, or he's back as an actual watcher.
Maybe.
I did quickly
say Sammy, click the link. Click the link above your last thing. It's an hour of conditioning for you. Enjoy. But anyway, yeah. So I remember the end of last season, and I am gonna watch Oshinoko at some point. Again, it's gonna happen. It's just it was one of those things that slipped through the cracks because of the time.
Yes, but I'll just keep saying that. Keep it at this arc is mostly about adaptating something in general from a manga, which is fairly free to do what it wants with its length, with its time. If something is too long, you can throw it into a new chapter. Theater has actors that have to move from place to place.
Yeah, they have to do things.
Scenes and props that take time to move around. And the runtime of the play itself, the story has to fit in that time. So to spoil something for you, Nretsew, Akane is dealing with a character which has limited screen time in the manga. And has her character changed.
Right.
And you know that Akane's way of acting is to immerse herself in the character. She's having a hard time immersing herself into a character which doesn't have much screen time to draw a character out of. To make a character out of. Which is then changed to better fit the runtime.
Right, because she doesn't have enough material to work off, so she's gonna.
And the material that she does have doesn't fit with the play anymore, with the manga anymore. So she's having a hard time. Melt comes back again. He says, "All right, sorry, I was really bad in that sweet today. Yeah, the drama adaptation." Sorry, Kana, I was pretty bad. And he says a neat thing. Tell me straight when I'm being bad. Because he was, very arrogant in the drama.
Yeah.
Now he watched the drama, he watched the thing and said, "Oh God, I was terrible."
Yeah.
Akane, please help me, I'm bad. Tell me, you didn't tell me, I don't know exactly why, but please tell me. I want to not be bad. So it's big self-improvement time. And there is a lot of talk about the challenges of adaptations and the considerations of it and the choices made and whose feelings get hurt where. But yeah, I'll also a very cool scene where Kana and the protagonist of the story, is it Himikawa? The guy and Kana, because Kana's acting style is be as good as your co-actor.
Right.
So what happens when she's co-acting with somebody who's incredible?
Oof.
Yeah. So that's kind of a big nerf to Akane. Akane having to act out a character which is not a character anymore that has a character. Well, Kana is big buff with being placed next to a character with an actor who is incredible, so she's incredible. Anyway, I'm keeping it vague for you. Maybe I should have talked about this after VTuber Legend. Mayonaka Punch. Oh, this image is kind of bigger than
Oh yeah.
This image I have to fix up.
Oh, it's broken. Uh-oh.
It's fixed. It's fixed now.
Hey, big punch.
Big punch. Mayonaka Punch. Middle in the night punch. Nretsew, we talked about VTubers.
Yeah, we did.
This is about YouTubers.
Yay!
Our main protagonist girl, she punched her co-YouTuber in the face on stream.
As you do.
So she's kicked out of the group. She's kind of pissed about that, kind of blaming them for her punching them. It's a thing. She made the channel, she was in control of the channel, but now she's being kicked out because she punched a co-member. It's already a little bit of politics involved in that they are not even that mad about the punch. It's more about image. You can't just stay in the group after you punch your fellow member. Therefore, you're out. That's the real reason that she's out. Not punching, per se, but more that the image that they have to keep a brand image, a YouTube image. Yeah, so she's out.
You're not clean enough. You fired an automatic assault rifle on stream.
So she starts up.
It's a big no-no.
Yeah, she starts up her stream pretending nothing happened. People don't let her get away with it. Damn, maybe I should make a apology video. She sets up the camera. She faces the camera and then freezes up.
Oof.
How do I even do this? And all the negative comments and ideas float around and then, oh fuck it, can't do it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, no, she didn't. Yeah, I'm talking to chat. Meanwhile, vampires, Nretsew. Vampires. In the vampire mansion, a vampire wakes up after dreaming of a girl who is very hot and says, "Eat me." So this vampire thinks, "Oh god, she was so hot. I am now awake. Oh, Dad, hey, Sleepy, you've been asleep for 20 years. Oh, damn, 20 years? That wasn't my intention. Alright, what happened? We're in massive debt.
Big debt.
Why are we in massive debt after just 20 years? Look at this smartphone. I've been watching videos about stock trading.
Listen. I got into some crypto. We got into some crypto fun. Look, listen. This Dogecoin thing is going to be real big. Okay?
It's going to be real big.
Yeah.
If Elon just tweets
it
about it, it will get big and it will be fine. Nah. So, but in the smartphone thing that she sees a video about girl punches fellow member in the face and then tries to start up new channel. Look at her, she's being stupid. But Nretsew, this girl in this video, it looks just like the girl she dreamt about.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Boy. And meanwhile, the vampire drinks up the entire supply they have in the mansion of blood because she was hungry. Kind of understandable after 20 years. Back to our fellow member punching girl. She's getting drunk and annoyed that people don't get her. And she's just getting drunk in some restaurant and says "fuck off" to the waitress, and the waitress says, "Oh, you're that girl. Don't cause a scene in real life." Also, this kind of has her fleeing and kind of fuck you all. I'm going to
fuck you. Fuck you.
You know what?
Fuck you.
You know what? This channel, my channel, started with us going into abandoned buildings. In scary places and whatnot. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a viral video going through this abandoned hospital, making scary videos, and it's going to be great. She says, well, drinking alcohol out of a straw.
Drunk off his shit, yeah.
Meanwhile, vampire is scrunching in an abandoned hospital for blood.
Right.
While she's walking on the ceiling.
As you do.
And as you might see just on the edge over here.
Oh yeah, she's recording and then
and they meet. And the vampire says a very sane thing to hear Nretsew. You see a vampire walking on the ceiling. Or you see a person walking on the ceiling. They see you. Very scary. First thing they say...
Very spooky.
Nretsew, you've never met this person. The first thing they say to you is, have you been dreaming about me too?
Out. She's out. Out.
Very much. But
oh, God.
After a little bit of running and finding out that the vampire can fly...
Yeah, they kind of can do that, yeah.
So she goes from, damn, I can make videos out of this.
Yeah.
Alright, you're a vampire, you want to drink my blood or whatever? Give me 1 million subscribers. And thus ends the first episode and ties into the first OP, which starts, as you probably have seen, as a YouTube premiere. 10, 9, 8, with all the weird geometrical and artistic shapes. And going all the back to the OP. The OP is a bunch of all the members in the posters doing a bunch of YouTuber stuff. Makeup, eating, camping in the wilderness, shooting bullets, seeing if bullets can hit each other in midair. Singing, dancing, exploring abandoned places, VR, game, YouTuber stuff.
Yeah, as you do.
So this is about YouTubing.
Yeah, we've got VTubers and YouTubers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had last time we had band, and now it's tubing and tubing.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
it sounds pretty fun.
I'm going to keep watching Mayonaka Punch as a insight in YouTuber because they prominently feature equipment. So it might, be somewhat educational also in what each...
yeah.
Well, more maybe. Just general educating as what equipment actually what goes into a YouTube production of some scale.
Yeah. It's not as easy as it looks, as you guys know, because every time we start a stream, I have to ask Ellie if he's broken something again.
And if you have all these goddamn audio settings.
Yeah, all these fucking audio bullshit. Yeah.
It's more. I probably think we'll find more about that out in the VTubing rather than the YouTubing. But that's just a guess. I'm going to keep talking, and now this time it's about the elusive samurai.
Ooh. Yeah, so the Shota lovers do be eating good this season, apparently. From what I understand. The Shota boys do be cooking.
Do you see that face on the bottom there?
Yeah, he is lusting. He is ooh. Big
I've seen what I would describe as supreme struggles tweets.
Oh yeah.
The very Japanese extremely struggle tweets about
I saw I think there was one on okay, so context before the stream, me and Ellie were like, I was showing Ellie a bunch of there's this Twitter account. It's JPT says JPT struggle tweets, and it's basically just the most unhinged shit you've ever seen from like Japanese Twitter accounts. And I did see one from this one. Okay. Well, not the one I was talking about, but there is one here that I could read. But I want to find the actual one that I saw the other day.
I have really just seen the Japanese, and my supreme talent in reading a little bit of Japanese decoded one of the message, and that said, "He's a boy, but I wish I could get him pregnant. I would get him pregnant. He's going to get pregnant. I'm impregnating him."
Here we go. I posted something in there. I posted a couple in there. There you go. The first one is great. The first one is fucking great. I love the first one.
I'm not gay, but when I imagine
you always know it's gonna be good when it starts with "I'm not gay, but."
But when I imagine this guy half naked with his rib faintly visible, I can't stop ejaculating. I swear I'm not gay.
I'm not gay, I swear. I'm not gay, I swear. And the other one.
The other one is a reference. So I'll keep. I don't have.
Yeah, but I just love that. I'm not gay, but
I can't stop ejaculating.
I can't stop ejaculating to this boy. It takes a man to be best girl.
All right, but
all right. So what is the show actually about, Ellie?
The show
what is the plot?
Is about a time when Nretsew, you tripped.
Oh.
You got you spilled some, and it made you spill some tea over the dress on the suit of the Lord. Your shogun.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're fucked.
You're
very fucked.
You've been dishonorable.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah, exactly. You're fucked.
Kill yourself because you've been dishonorable. That's the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you're fucked,
there is a big popular guy in this time period that won a bunch of battles, did a bunch of war stuff, and he's big famous in Japan for being a big boy. His story is not about him. His story is about the boy who we are not gay for. His real talent is fleeing and not dying after a loss or after
making sure not to die. Yeah.
Yes. So he's kind of elusive in a sense. This samurai fellow. very introductory first bit of the first episode. Hey, young lord, go to training. No, I'm not. I know I'm not going to. I'm going to escape your every attempt to make me go to training. I'm going
fuck
to.
You. Fuck you.
Hey,
fuck you.
Hey, big important guy in history. You're going to quell some uprising something over there. All right, cool. Go ahead. You go over there. I'm going to go sit in this tree. Oh goddamn! What is this man with his weird lights? Why are you in this tree? Oh, he foresaw my future being being here in this tree. All right, he's weird. Never mind that.
Weird man. Yeah.
I'm going back and I'm going to be a puppet king, and just live my life fleeing from danger or responsibility, kinda. Nretsew, this big famous guy, in the Japanese history. He's also very much known for turning against his lord and killing everybody there.
Ah, I see.
So this boy we have here, his entire clan gets killed off.
As you do, yeah.
As you do. So the Hojo clan is kind of dead, except him. He lives. He says
he lived.
He didn't die in this yet. So he says, "Let me die. This is a disgrace kind of deal." So all right, go ahead. And then he goes, "Nah, I'm going to live. I'm going to dodge every single."
Nah, I'd live.
I changed my mind. It's kind of scary dying or something. I'm just going to evade every single pointy bit ever and just run. And then he says, all right, I'm going to live. And he's going to train up and defeat the guy that killed his entire clan and become a hero by living instead of killing.
Sick.
And there was a line from this priest fellow with the light. Is his mentor character already? He says a neat thing, which is true throughout history, that being good at hiding and evading are good qualities for a hero. Because every single hero in history, classical history, did hide, did sneak, did stealth, did deceive. From, which one battled Medusa again?
What's his name?
Perseus.
I know who you're talking about. Some fella.
Yeah, but even he, tricked Medusa, and with a mirror shield and snuck around Medusa's lair to get there, and did some tricks with Medusa's head, using it here and there. It's all very sneaky behavior, not very honorable. That's why he's a hero, because he did sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy's going to be a hero. This is all first episode. Unrelated Nretsew. It's kind of annoying that a lot of the anime that I'm interested in air today.
At the same time, yeah, a lot of them are coming out.
Well, we're not really today. We're like 3 hours, 4 hours, half a day. So I can't. Really...
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Elusive Samurai is out. Episode 2 out. The second episode of Elusive Samurai is out already, but it's not enough time to watch the 5 shows that I want to watch and then go to do this stream. Even just by the logistics of getting all the screenshots ready and stuff.
Yeah, it takes a while. Yeah.
Alright, this time I'm going to do something different. Bam!
Ooh, different. Bam! Shotgun time.
A lot of shows.
Shotgun time.
This shotgun is going to be a little bit slower because it's the first time for every one of these besides the Gigi Harem. I'll start there. Pseudo Harem. Our main character has learned when she's acting and when she's pretending to be acting.
Right.
Because she kind of can hide her feelings behind acting. You know, no, I'm being a tsundere right now, so I say I don't like you or anything, but I actually do like you. So in the first episode, she could get away with, hey, you said you liked me. No, that was acting. When she wasn't. Now she can't. When she's not acting, the guy can tell. So she can't pretend, not pretend act something. So it's a kind of it's a new step in the relationship. Also, Nretsew, casual hand holding, calling each other in the evening, going on a date to do the New Year's temple thing, prayer. Doing some Christmas shopping together, sharing umbrella.
All the normal stuff.
Just date already energy from from 5 minutes into the first.
Just have sex already. Just do it.
5 minutes into the first episode was, oh damn, they are a couple. Let's move. Let's give them space. They are a couple. Second episode, they went on 3 dates canonically already. Also, main girl wants to confess, but is kind of scared of how to do it, and is going to hide behind her personas for a little bit. Too many losing heroines. I included the poster, but it's a little bit early because the first episode came out today, and I haven't actually watched it, so it's kind of
just there. You need to fill the space. You need to fill the space.
Whoosh. That's a kind of how to do it.
Gone.
Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
Yeah, that's one that I've been seeing a lot of because people have been showing clips of that everywhere.
Yeah, it's being a little bit
kind of keen. I'm kind of keen. It looks kind of interesting, but at the same time, I'm not sure if it's going to be really like.
It's being a bit outrageous at the moment, which is fun. But to be fair, I kind of included more of it as a future thing because I felt you might be watching this, so I included it.
Yeah, and I might pick it up, but I'm not 100 on it yet because even though it's been outrageous, the question is how long can it keep that momentum going, as well as is it even worth watching it if I can just like vicariously live via the memes, right? I think one of the even outside of the fan service stuff, one of the funny ones was is that scene where she's like screaming at him in Russian, and people have just been taking like my favorite one was this. So in Tarkov, there's this really long fucking spew that that NPCs will go on when they're trying to like taunt you or something. And it's just this like fucking 2-minute long Russian derogatory spew of bullshit, and so someone grafted that on top of it. It's fucking great because it fits. It's funny as fuck. So no, yeah. So I'm kind of interested, but at the same time, I'm a bit. We'll see what happens.
So
I may not pick that one up.
The small twist in this is that the guy knows Russian.
Yes. So she thinks that he can't understand, but he can understand. Basically.
So it's more of a test of his composure than it is, because she says, "Hey, I'm so lonely. Why don't you hug me?" or something, and it's up to him to pretend he doesn't know what's going on and not to show any reaction to it. That's kind of the deal. Also, his sister wants to pretend that's his childhood friend because technically, childhood.
Yeah, the sister wants the dick. Yeah.
I don't know what the sister wants, but sister wants chaos. First of all. So and likes to tease and cause chaos. At the expense of her brother. So. And there are 2 more female characters there in the poster that we haven't met, so I don't know what their deal is. But needless to say, It's been funny. It's not for me right now. In the 5 other shows that I still have yet to talk about.
Yeah.
And there's one show that I have been wanting, because this show hasn't come out and I've been interested in. There's another show that I want to have not watched, but I'm wanting to watch still. But I've been, all right, next film, Dungeon People, right? Dungeon People, girl gets trained by father who says, "Hey girl, my daughter of mine, did you blink? Nretsew, did you blink?
Maybe.
Bad move, you died. Better learn to react faster than blinking. Alright, girl, you're going to learn how to do endurance fighting, because, some battles take longer. So you have to have endurance. Nretsew, how long do you have to fight?
An hour?
Wrong. 20 hours. Girl, now train to fight 20 hours straight.
Also, see you later, 5-0. It's all good. We're probably going to be wrapping up soon.
Yeah, this is the last bits.
Yeah, this is the last little bit.
This is kind of a startup for a reason for why our main character girl is kind of One Punch Man, but she isn't bald.
Right.
So she goes into the dungeon. She gets farther than anybody else really ever has. She does a boss fight on the 9th floor. Boss breaks a wall, and behind the wall is a normal room with a bed and a desk and whatnot. And the boss starts talking from, "Oh shit, I broke the wall. This is bad."
Oh no.
Out come through the door from the room inside the behind the wall. "Oh damn. Sorry about this. I'll fix this right away. Hey, have you been talking to her? Boss monster? You are not fighting. You should be fighting actually, but you aren't. So, have you been talking?" "Oh, you have. Alright, adventurer, come here." Yeah, I manage this place and whatnot, but don't worry about it. Work for me. I need some help managing this dungeon. And as it is right now, this is more about dungeon logistics. How would a dungeon actually function? Hey, that rhymed. Because the chests needs to be restocked, the monsters need to be rehired, treasures needs to be placed, difficulty needs to be managed. Monsters have their demands too. The reason why it's light inside of a underground dungeon is because not all monsters have dark vision. We don't really care about the adventurers not having dark vision, but I made the dungeon lighter because then more monsters. I could employ more monsters for the dungeon.
As you do.
As you do. So it's all about big management in the dungeon, and her meeting a bunch of big characters in the dungeon, and her becoming a little bit more sociable instead of just fight, kill, sneak around. She's a thief character, type character. Fun, cute stuff.
Yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. It sounds alright.
Next up is how to become ordinary. So if there are sometimes the label of autistic character gets thrown out.
Sometimes the label of autistic gets thrown around a lot these days.
I don't like to throw it out myself. You never really hear me say this is a very autistic of you or anybody else. Nretsew, I ask of you as a experience,
as a fellow experienced autist,
if with your learned experience, maybe you should give this show at least one episode watch, to give your expert opinion on it, because when an old friend of our main guy comes up and he's a bit abrasive, and he's kind of a sports team. He's wearing a sports jersey.
Sportsman, big sports ball. Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, hey, you're also here. Oh, who's she? Oh, you know each other? Good, you're keeping up with him. That's a lot of work. That's brave of you." It kind of implies something somewhere that it's hard to deal with him on some level.
Maybe.
That might. But then Nretsew. They are at a university acceptance thing. You know, you have your number, and if your number is on the board, that means you're in the university thing. If you're not on the board, that means you didn't make it.
You're fucked. Yeah. You're fucked.
There's this girl standing away from the board, skulking in a dark corner kind of deal. Our main girl sees the girl who's skulking. First thing she does is hide behind the guy. Physically hiding behind the guy.
As you do, yeah.
And then she says, you know, very much is left unspoken, but it was, "Oh, wasn't she in your class?" "Yes." "She could have failed." "Oh." Let's go.
Alright.
Very much avoiding the problem. Very much.
Avoid problem. Problem go away. Don't look at it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, and but have you ever watched Yoka?
No, I don't think I have.
Yoka was very much a kind of a mundane mystery solving thing. And this is very much the same. But our main character is very observant of behaviors. And notice when things are out of place. So he solves a mystery with her, because she's also very observant of people and when they're being different.
Right.
So they kind of solve a mystery kind of together. She is very hung up about getting some strawberry cakes, so she's willing to wait an hour in the same spot. And they're being peculiar to each other, but they're not dating.
Ooh.
Because the guy says, "Oh, you're the two dating, cool for you," and then he walks off. And then they say, "He thinks we're dating." Yeah. And that's the end of the conversation. So they're very much not.
Yeah.
But they do keep each other company for a while. All right. So I might need your expert opinion on this.
Right. Maybe I'll pick it up. We'll see.
Yeah. Because because I'm talking a lot because I've watched a lot. When the balance is restored, I might bump this up to a screenshot tier.
Watch, yeah. Like I said, I'll have to go through the bloody the list of stuff that's coming out and pick through it and grab it.
Yeah, and I might, spend almost as much time as talking about the show with screenshots, but this is the first time. I hope I'll talk less next time, or if it doesn't help, I'll...
Yeah, we're experimenting with new format, basically.
Yeah, because
especially
pseudo harem, Gizi harem. They're just in uniforms and talking to each other the whole time. How am I going to get screenshots out of that?
Exactly.
Absolutely terrible.
But anyway,
the last one, right?
Short. Oh, wait, you've got
the middle one. I haven't
talked... Oh, yeah, the rice. Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker. Yeah, that one. Based on that video game.
Yeah. haven't played the video game, but I did see like short gameplay snippets of the first level and whatnot, and later on.
Yeah, it's like a farm sim,
but also a
side-scrolling
action platformer kind of deal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed genre.
But Nretsew, this is actually an actual adaptation.
Oh yeah.
They are not, because in the first level you run around humans that have entered the divine realm. That's a problem because she lets them in technically. So she needs to catch them before it becomes a big problem. In the game, she needs to, platform and fight through to get to the humans. In the anime, she just, swings around and gets there.
Right.
So there aren't any unneeded fights. They're not adding fights in the way to get to the humans because there were fights in the game.
Because it doesn't make sense, and it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Yoshi no Koi, like an adaptation runtime type thing, right?
Yeah, so it really the story is really told as if it wasn't adapted from a game. It has, because the game because this game, from what I remember, at least, didn't really have cutscenes, with new models and whatnot. It was, one character talking animation, then other character talking animation, then they, collide with each other and one person is bounced off and flies away. In the anime, there is actually, I don't want to fight, and he draws his sword slowly, and then he's shaking, and characters look up and down and left and right and all that stuff, as you do in an animation. So it's very much adapting the story and not the gameplay thus far.
All right.
So that's interesting. But Nretsew, I'm watching a lot of shows, so this might
it probably
not
it
make
sounds
the
like
cuts.
the kind of thing that would get kind of dropped, I'd say.
So if you're going to say this show is mid, right, I would oppose it and say no. This show is very interesting in how it does an adaptation of a video game. This should be study work and should be learned of. Look how they adapted even the first episode, but in the and the trial, but later on, I know of the game, it's very much trial and error later on. So I'm kind of interested how they adapt that into the later episode.
Yeah,
you see, Nretsew, no anime is ever really mid.
No anime is ever mid. All right. Well, anyway, we're pretty much done, I think.
I'm noticing that I have talked a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, you need to rest, and short stream this time around, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to have some short streams.
Oh, you know it didn't feel short for me after I talked for an hour straight.
Well, we'll talk. I mean, maybe next week we'll do a longer video or something. We'll figure something out. We'll see what happens. But anyway. We'll catch up with you guys next week. How about that?
Yeah, later.
Laters. Bye.